Greetings, grand rising, amazingly, abundantly, astonishingly, and most importantly, beautifully blessed people. Y'all see the sun, y'all see the day, one of my friends today told me I should, how you call this? Um, get get close to get to one of them gardens with what do you call those things again? Poppies, the the trees with nice flowers that bloom during this time of the year. But anyway, and honestly, I wish I had some within my area. Would be a nice sight for you guys. Would be something great. I appreciate you, Rylan, for that suggestion. Makes a lot of sense. But anyway, let me not hold you too long over here. Let's get right into it, my amazingly blessed people. Then, our principle of the day today is what you call it. First and foremost, forget the principle. Let's not get into principle here. Let me see. Now, the lighting is good this side, so I should probably, walk towards here. But anyway, first and foremost, welcome on today's walk of knowledge, walk of wisdom, walk of harmony, walk of power, walk of good health, you know what I'm saying? You know? And yeah, welcome on board. If you're new to this, the concept is if you're physically able, in all senses of the words, uh, get ready, get your slides on, slap some slocks on, some slides on. If you got shorts on, put that tank top on, hop out, go outside the house, look left, right, put your earphones on. You ain't gotta look at the video, you just gotta hear it, you know what I'm saying? It's all about listening, my amazingly blessed with them. So yeah, let's go out together and get some share some wisdom together, while at the same time, getting a little cardio in, getting that blood flow working. You get me, my amazingly blessed people. Them, come on. But anyway, I pray today's message, today's principle of the day finds you beautiful souls in spirits of joy, spirits of gratitude, spirits of harmony, and anything and everything that aligns with a fulfilling and positive existence. My amazingly blessed people there. You get me? It's a beautiful day, a beautiful week, what? Month two of quarter two of this year, and so far so good, Can't complain, can't explain, can only appreciate my amazingly blessed people there. You get me? But yeah, now our principle of the day today. I won't hold you too long, like I said, so let me put it right up. This principle of the day is one that I'll try and back by, I guess, some wise words from from one of the wisest books ever, the Bible, and you can quote me on that. Anyway, our principle of the day today is be your own person. When your days are over, God will not ask you why weren't you more like, next man. Why weren't you more like this man, that man? Why weren't you more like that woman? Why weren't you more like that sister, that brother? You get me? God ain't gonna ask you that. God might or will definitely ask you, so why weren't you you? You get me? So now why risk the possibility of not having an answer, but trying to, I guess, be someone that you're not, be, but trying to be, someone that you're not, one, and someone that you can be, because at the end of the day, yeah, you could try, imitate, you could try, I don't know, shit, nowadays there's surgeries even and whatnot to get you to look at whatever it is you desire. You could try all that, or make sure to stay you, work on you, work on the excellent being you are, and it takes more. I feel like it takes more time trying to be something you can't be or something that you're not. Again, first of all, there's nothing you can't be. Like, let's get that straight, you know? But there's something you can be better at, and that's being you, you know? We're all amazing at being ourselves when we genuinely and intentionally choose to be that, you know? When we pursue, you know, I guess self-acceptance, you know, um, self-worth, you know, self-acknowledgement, you know, just when you pursue the self, it's more fulfilling than pursuing, I don't know, uh, the rest, you know, because once you conquer you, there's nothing else that could phase you. There's nothing that could, you know, how do you call it? There's nothing that could phase you. There's nothing that would limit you, you know. You know why? Because you know you will know you know. And once you know you, I know this sounds a bit. I guess my explanation is somehow confusing at times, but once you get to know you, it all kind of falls in place, you know. And that is pretty much one of the main, like not one, it is the main, the primary goal of Askari mode, you know. Anyone here wondering Askari mode, what's Askari mode? Because when Askari talks, well, Askari mode is where we get the principles from, you know. It's where we share the principles initially, it's where we generate the principles, it's where we write the principles and share them with you beautiful souls here on Askari Talks, you know. So again, core value of Askari mode is like basically educating each other on individuality and inclusivity, but primarily individuality. Why do we say individuality primarily? Well, because my amazingly blessed people, them. You start when you build it. Let's just go house building analogies. You know, when you build a house, you start from the ground up, right? You get me? And when you how do you call it? When you build the house, you start from the ground up. Let me look for another one. You know, uh, when you build a car, you know, when you put together a car, you start from the insides, right? You know, you don't start with the shell. You get me? You start with the platform, and then you know, I'm no mechanic, but I imagine like things get added and added onto the platform. You know, that's why so many cars, different cars, have similar platforms. You know, you could get a luxurious car with the same platform as just you know an everyday car, but that's besides the point. Point is, in order for you, in order for us, you know, as individuals, to be able to coexist, you know, to be able to appreciate each other, you know, to understand each other, and to be able to, I guess, support each other and you know, accept each other. We first have to learn to accept ourselves. You get me? We have to learn to accept ourselves. We have to learn to prioritize ourselves, and we have to learn to know ourselves, you know, because if you don't know you, if you don't know what you like or what you don't like, well, you'll be everyone's toy, you know, especially again if you're someone who's very indecisive like me, you know, you'll end up just living your life navigating and navigating around people's feelings and people's I guess you know like preferences and whatnot. You'll end up always abiding by others, you know. And yeah, I understand. I might always say we are designed for lives of service, but you are also like you owe service to yourself too. You get me? You owe it to yourself to be there for you, you know. You owe it to yourself to put yourself first. Sometimes you owe it to yourself to know your worth, you know. You owe it to yourself to know how valuable you are wherever you are, you know. And you owe it to yourself to put yourself in an environment where you know, you won't be misused or abused. You get me? You know. And yeah, you owe it to yourself to just to know you, my amazingly people, you know. Like Drake said, I don't know if he's the first one to say it, but he said it best almost. Know yourself, know your worth. You get me? So, yeah, that is what we emphasize on individuality. Now, getting back to our principle of the day, well, you gotta be you. Because if you ain't you, then who are you? You know? There's a reason we are one, 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 one. Even twins are two. You know? Might look alike, but they are two. You know? They each have their own selves to be. You get me? So be you, my amazingly blessed people. Them be you. Be you unapologetically. You get me? The fact that I even said that was straight without no breaks or what, that's to let you know that you gotta be you. You can't be nothing else. You can't be nobody else than you. You get me, my amazingly blessed people. Them, you know, be you unapologetically, and embrace it. You know, embrace yourself and love yourself. God damn, that's one of the most. Let me tell you, loving yourself is something that nobody will tell you. Love your neighbor, you know, love your neighbor, love your, respect your parents and everything, you know, but you're really taught to love yourself, you know, you're really taught to appreciate yourself, you know. And most times we look for that, all that from others, you know. We look elsewhere, you know, get other people's opinions, you know. We try to fish for compliments, you know. We try to do this. Compliment yourself. Wake up and say, I'm handsome. You get me? Wake up and say, I'm beautiful. You know? Wake up and say, I got this. You know, wake up and say, I'm winning. Because you are. But if you tell yourself, but I'm not, well, you aren't. You decide at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day too. You know? Not just at the end of the day that you decide. The beginning as well. You set the tone. You know? You get me? Yeah, of course, there's the thing that goes, you know, man plans, God laughs. But hey, at the end of the day, it's just the same. So put yourself first, love yourself, appreciate yourself, and, you know, encourage yourself, you know. Plan to win, wake up to win, you know. Plan to conquer, you know, whatever it is you do, you know. Just plan for good and believe it, you know. Don't like yesterday's principle says, you know, something good that I want to happen is going to happen. And that's simply it. There's no, you know, you decide and the word abides, you know. It's not that the world decide and you abide. No, that's not the life our Father God, you know, put us on earth for. That's not the life Christ Jesus, you know, was sacrificed for, you know, was crucified for. You know what I'm saying? All those sacrifices, you know, all those everything that happened throughout the course of history, you know, is for you to proudly walk out confidently, you know, conquer each and every day of your life. You get me? It wasn't for you to, you know, just come and still be guessing or, you know, be uncertain. No. That's how we say think for yourselves, my amazingly blessed people. Them, you know, that's why that's the most important factor that I overly emphasize each and every time. Because I don't know any other way to put it, you know. It all comes up to thinking for yourselves, in my opinion, you know. And yeah, so again, my amazingly blessed people. Them, each and every day you live, you know, learn to be you. In terms of individuality, well, this just, you know, saves you, I guess, lots of overly questions, lots of doubts even, you know, because once you know you, well, you ain't doubting, you know, you ain't questioning, you ain't wondering, you know, who to be like or whatnot, you know. And once you know you, and what you call it, yeah, once you know you ain't questioning, you ain't worried, you ain't doubting, you know, you don't have all these voices in your mind. And when the voices are there, well, you shut them up. Because guess what? You know you, you know what I'm saying? You know yourself, you know your worth. And that is, once you know that, well, you can navigate through life, fulfill your own purpose, follow your own path, and not chase but attract your destiny, You can embody, once you know yourself and your worth, it's easy to embody, to be the vision that you have for yourself, It's easier to be that, once you know you and what you're capable of. In terms of inclusivity, well, it's less confusing because then there's no two of one. You get me? Once you know you, you're able to, once you know you and you've learned to value yourself and, how do you call it? Appreciate yourself and respect yourself. Well, that sets the tone for each and everyone else on how to be with you, on how to be towards you. You get me? How you treat you is how others will treat you, What you accept from you and tolerate is what you receive from others 90% of the time, And also in the process you learn how to, I guess, appreciate others. Not I guess. You learn how to live, to be, to be comfortable. Once you're comfortable with yourself, it's easy to be comfortable around others. It's easy to understand others. It's easy to enjoy others' company. It's easy to coexist. With no conflict. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's easy to accept others. Regardless of flaws, benefits, and whatnot. You get me? And yeah, that's about it, my amazing bless you for them. And you can't go around denying yourself. Sorry, you can't go around the world, just like how you call this? Like I said, I had a few words in Matthew chapter 10, verse 31 to 34. Where Jesus explains. Let me just put it up. Matthew chapter 10, verse 31. Yeah. So verse 31 to 34. Fear you not, therefore you are of more value than many sparrows. Whoever therefore shall confess me before men, him I will confess also before my Father which is in heaven. But whoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace but a sword. Basically, I'm not explaining it in the terms of what, I guess what is communicating, but my point here, what I'm trying to convey to you guys is, the more you deny yourself, the longer you take to acknowledge yourself, you get me? The longer you take to, appreciate yourself, and to value yourself, the harder it gets, and the more impossible it gets day by day, the more challenging it gets, you get me? And well, each and every day you spend denying yourself, each and every day you spend, not valuing yourself is a day that, you spend devaluing yourself, and is a day that, again, you spend losing yourself, and you ain't trying to get lost in your own source, my amazingly blessed people. Then come on, the source is to mix others. Nah, jokes aside though, you wanna know you and you wanna value you, and most important of all, my amazingly blessed people, then think for your beautiful selves. You get me? Think for your beautiful selves. When stress this enough, can't stress this enough, and yeah, because like I said, this controls your whole universe. Where your mind sits is where your reality sits. You get me? Now I think I'm getting closer to a tree with the flowers and stuff. I think there's this one here. I'll look for another one. Hopefully there's one along the way on the walk back. But yeah, I'm amazingly blessed with them. You know, value yourself, think for yourselves, and again, love yourself. You know, more importantly, love yourself. You know, and yeah, that's about it for today. I'm amazingly blessed with them. I appreciate you all for your amazing time. You know, priceless. You get me? And yeah, I wish you all a beautiful, amazingly blessed rest of your day. You know, stay healthy, stay winning, stay protected, and yeah, that's about it. I'm amazingly blessed with them. One love, my good people.